Beautiful beaches, sexy bodies, and the luxury seaside villas are probably what comes to mind when you think of this part of the world. But beyond the stereotypical Hollywood image lies a land of pristine nature, economic hardship, and a rich cultural heritage. Join me as I uncover the hidden wonders of California's Central Coast. Stretching roughly from Los Angeles to the San Francisco Bay, California's Central Coast is home to some of the state's most iconic cities and landmarks. I'll be skipping most of the usual tourist spots in favor of the region's lesser-known natural and cultural sites. I'll begin my journey at the San Fernando Mission. I'll then visit the historic seaside towns of Ventura and Santa Barbara before visiting Solvang and the historic missions of La Purísima and San Luis Obispo. I'll then travel up the coast to San Simeon before traveling along the iconic Camino Real to Soledad in the Pinnacles National Park. I'll then continue north to San Juan Bautista before exploring the region of Monterey Bay. From there, it's on to San Francisco and the historic towns and parks of Marin County before ending my journey in the world-famous Sonoma County. We're in the San Fernando Valley in North Los Angeles, and this is the mission San Fernando Rey de España. It was the 17th of the 21 Spanish missions to be founded in what's now California. It was founded in 1797 by Father Lasuen to close the gap between San Buenaventura on the coast and San Gabriel in the interior. The goal of these missions, which were first established by a Franciscan priest named Junipero Serra, was to convert the local Indians to Christianity, but also to develop a thriving agricultural and wine industry in the Spanish colony of Alta California. Thanks to its strategic location along the main highway leading into Los Angeles, the mission became a popular rest stop for travelers traveling along the iconic El Camino Real. Guests would sleep here in the convent, which wasn't completed until 1822, but is often mistaken for the actual mission. The two-storied structure contained over 20 rooms, including priest quarters, a chapel, kitchen, winery, storehouse, reception hall, and guest accommodations. At its peak, around 1,080 people lived at the mission. After California fell to the Mexicans in 1821, a small presidio was established, but quickly declined after some of the guards were caught giving liquor, horses, and false promises of freedom to the native slaves. The mission fell into disrepair after the Mexican Secularization Act of 1833 and was finally restored in the 1940s with funding from William Randolph Hearst, and is an exact copy of the third mission to stand on this site, the previous ones having succumbed to earthquakes and natural elements. One of the few original features that remain, however, are the hand-carved statue of San Fernando and the 17th century walnut altar, reredos, and pulpit, which were shipped over from a church in Spain. The walls are also decorated with indigenous designs. The mission fountain was modeled after one in Cordoba, and the large patio with the surrounding walls offered protection against possible Indian raids.
open the window, like a long window to the outside, to the above area. Nowadays they have lights, but back then they didn't. And they didn't have air either. It's kind of...
How cool. I think this is the best mission museum I've seen in California. Oh, patrz.
Oh yeah.
How cool to start our journey in the side of Los Angeles that's rarely seen. From Los Angeles, I travel west along the iconic Camino Real to the coastal city of Ventura.
Chewing on a piece of grass, walking down the road. Tell me, how long you gonna stay here, Joe? Some people say this town don't look good in snow. You don't care, I know. Ventura Highway in the sunshine, where the days are longer, the nights are stronger than moonshine. You're gonna go, I know. Cause a free wind is blowing through your hair, and the days surround your daylight there. Seasons crying, no despair. Alligator lizards in the air.
Mark, masz kartę? Mogę zamknąć drzwi?
This is the hotel we're gonna be staying in for the night in Ventura. We're gonna get settled in, then explore the city.
Zrobili?
Jak w Europie.
Jak w Karmel to mówię. Nie było, ale takie teraz fajnie zrobili.
Ulica Main Street to jest najstarsza ulica.
Modern Ventura wouldn't exist if it weren't for this building you see behind me. This is the Mission San Buenaventura. It was founded in 1782. It was the 9th mission to be founded in California and the last to be founded by Father Junipero Serra. The original mission church was lost to a fire, and the current one we see was completed after the 1812 earthquake. Due to its large supply of fresh water, the mission was able to sustain flourishing orchards and gardens, which were described by explorer Captain George Vancouver as the finest he'd ever seen. The water was delivered through a 7-mile-long aqueduct and filtered in this building nicknamed El Caballo, or the Horse. However, a combination of floods, earthquakes, and secularization laws eventually led to the mission's demise. Today, only a small portion of the original mission complex remains. Alright, over there we have a Chumash canoe.
For me, it was a day of great consolation. Soon after the masses were said, while I planted the ground and gave thanks to our Lord for granting me this opportunity to be among the Gentiles in their land, after longing for this for so many years. I quickly went out, and there I saw...
The mission's most unique feature are its wooden bells, whose origins and exact purpose remain a mystery. Its metal bells were borrowed from the mission Santa Barbara and never returned. The mission's most important feature were its bells, as they signal things such as religious services, births, funerals, baptisms, returning missionaries, and approaching danger. The Padres always lived in fear of an Indian revolt, and although one never happened, the threat of piracy loomed strong over the horizon. And after a raid on San Juan Capistrano, many of its sacred objects, including a 400-year-old crucifix from the Philippines, were hidden in the nearby hills. Today the town is still officially known by its original Spanish name, San Buenaventura, and the statue of Father Serra proudly stands outside its city hall. And since its founding, the town has blossomed into one of California's most famous and desirable cities. I was actually born in Ventura, and the last time I was here was well over a decade ago, and I sadly left with a pretty bad impression of it, but I'm delighted to say that the town has really changed for the better. This building you see behind me is the historic Olivas Adobe, and was actually the home of a Mexican soldier. In 1841, Raimundo Olivas was given a large piece of land by the Mexican government as a thanks for his service in Santa Barbara. Then, between 1847 and 1852, he constructed this adobe, and in 1849 he actually added the second story, and at the time this was the only house in the area that had 2 stories. And Raimundo Olivas lived here with his wife and 21 children all the way up until 1879. From Ventura, it's just a 30-minute drive to the city of Santa Barbara. Wow, this is beautiful. We're in the city of Santa Barbara, which was founded by the Spanish in 1782, in a region which is today known as the California Riviera. I'm at the historic Santa Barbara Presidio. It was built in 1782, and it actually has the distinction of being the last Spanish military outpost to be built in the New World. The Presidio would have had a typical Spanish layout with a church and government buildings. Its El Cuartel is the second oldest surviving building in California. You can see a lot of the traditional Spanish elements were used in the design of the modern city. The city even has a bit of a Mediterranean vibe. This incredible structure you see behind me is the Mission Santa Barbara. It was founded in 1786 and is the first mission in California that wasn't founded by Junipero Serra. It's nicknamed the Queen of the Missions and was established on the feast day of Saint Barbara, a girl who was beheaded by her father for following the Christian faith. The mission is unique in that it is the only mission in California to contain 2 towers. It also features 6 bells, each dedicated to a saint. The mission also enjoyed the status of a pro-cathedral church, and also housed the first bishop in California. 3 previous churches stood at this site, each larger than the other. However, the current church you see dates from 1820, the result of a massive earthquake that took place in 1812 and damaged much of the original mission. The mission was also one of the sites of the 1824 Chumash Revolt. Today it's actually the only mission to remain under the leadership of the Franciscan friars since its founding. To this day, several Franciscan friars still live at the mission. Each Sunday, thousands of visitors line up outside its doors to attend Sunday Mass and visit its beautiful museum, which showcases key events in the mission's history and contains one of the finest collections of Catholic and Chumash artifacts.
Memorial location of Juana Maria, who was buried here in 1856 following her rescue from San Nicolas Island, where she was abandoned and survived alone for 18 years.
From Santa Barbara, I take the scenic route to the town of Solvang.